For the first time, the U.S. Bureau of Reclamation issued a water shortage for Lake Mead starting in 2022. Located between southern Nevada and northwestern Arizona, Lake Mead provides water and generates electricity for the more than 20 million people in the lower Colorado River Basin. This shortage isn't a surprise. Water levels at Lake Mead and Lake Powell to the northeast have already reached historic lows amid the summer drought. By January, the Bureau projects water levels at Lake Mead to fall to 1,065.85 feet, 9 feet below the first shortage trigger elevation. Levels on Lake Powell, which stores water for the Upper Colorado River Basin, are only marginally better, projected to be just 45 feet above the required elevation to produce hydropower. The overall situation is not good, but why? This whole reservoir system along the Colorado River Basin was designed to get us through the drought years. Why isn't it working? A glimpse into the history of the system, how it was designed, and the impacts of climate change sheds light on why it was destined to fail and why it may never recover. As Americans began moving west, they found that western rivers behaved very differently from those found in the Midwest and East Coast. Western rivers were fed by snow from the peaks of the Rocky Mountains. During the winter, river flows would decrease, sometimes even freeze over. As spring and summer arrived, the warmer temperatures melted snowpack that accumulated on the mountains over the winter. Then the melt would run off at exactly the perfect time, the beginning of the growing season. Water would be abundant for farming and other needs during the warm season. But issues arose with this perfect system. People learned less snowfall in one winter would result in less water flowing in the spring and summer. Water might not be as abundant as desired. Then came an issue of who could use the water. Consider a farmer named Joseph. He and his family would settle on their land and pull from the river during the warm season. It had been a good winter, so they expected high river flows that spring. Instead, the flows were really low. Where was his water? He would go upstream to find that another farmer named William had settled his family there, and he was taking the water. Joseph told William that he couldn't have the water. But William said it flowed through his land, and therefore it was his. Joseph argued that it would actually flow through this land, and he was here first, it was his. Thus was born the idea of water appropriation, albeit this is an extremely simplified and embellished version of the story. Later, the Colorado River Compact of 1922 determined the river belonged to all parties where the river and its tributaries flowed. Everyone would share it equitably. This would include the Upper Basin states, Wyoming, Utah, Colorado, and New Mexico, and the Lower Basin, Arizona, Nevada, and California. The compact stated the Upper Basin would share 7.5 million acre-feet per year, and the Lower Basin would also share 7.5 million acre-feet per year. Since the majority of this water originates in the Rocky Mountains of the Upper Basin states, those states must ensure the consistent delivery of water to the Lower Basin. Lake Mead, initially formed by the Hoover Dam in 1935, was designed to hold water for the Lower Basin states. As an insurance policy, the Upper Basin had Lake Powell, which began filling in 1963. If drought meant the Upper Basin states couldn't deliver their promised amount to the Lower Basin, they could deliver it with water in the savings account of Lake Powell.